one of your hosts, co-host, Vero, the owner of Sacred Crystals, and this is...
Hey everybody out there, beautiful moon day to you. I am Christina. I'll be your intuitive guide and co-host for today's journey. Thank you, thank you.
And today we're very, very fortunate to have a special guest with us. Today we have Sasha.
Hello guys, so I'm Sasha. I'm also the other intuitive reader. I've been doing it for about a year or so still pretty new to this, but I'm absolutely blessed to be here today and be able to join this wonderful podcast.
Thank you for joining us,
Yes,
Sasha.
thank you, Sasha. So, I've been doing, I've owned crystal shops, metaphysical stores for many, many years now. And I've seen many, many different intuitive readers because I often have readers in my store. And one of the things that that I've noticed in my time hiring readers is that, you know, your genuine readers are just real people who have a gift. You know, forget the the come here, you know, I need to tell you something. You know, that's not what it's about. It's like they're just intuitives that have a gift. And we all have this gift. This is not something that is unique. It's just that these guys have really honed in on it and are able to talk to other people and really pull out their like some things that will help them, you know, and guide them. So I wanted to have this talk today with you guys about what it's like getting these messages and how you first started out, you know. So Christina, start with you. Like, how did you first learn that you had this gift?
I was probably maybe 5, 6 years old.
Wow.
When I started receiving communications. And I really wasn't sure where it was coming from. I didn't understand it, you know. So I kind of didn't discuss it or bring it up, you know. But I didn't focus on it, to tell you the truth. And that little bit of not focusing on that for some time kind of caused me to disconnect from that gift, at least from a conscious perspective. You know, subconsciously, unconsciously, and probably all day long. But as far as a conscious decision to be intuitive and trust intuition and know that what is coming to you is either divinely guided, which is the place that I feel most identified with, or my star family guiding me. So I've got a couple of different little channels that I lean on.
How old were you when you really got it? When you're like, oh, this is what's happening?
I don't know. I can't really mention that to you. I'd like to say that because it's like it's kind of like I would tap into it over time and readjust to the connectedness and the ability, but then would kind of not have it too, like where I'm consciously doing it. It was really kind of weird. So maybe answer your question, where I'm recognizing it and honoring it as part of myself instead of dismissing it and not thinking it's part of me, was when I was when I turned probably about 50 years old.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Very recent. I'm a young pup. You know, I started believing it. I was like, you know what, Christina, there's some truth to whatever you've experienced, go with it. And when I did that, everything changed.
Wow. Okay, that's really interesting. What about you, Sasha?
Well, so how I want to say that I started it was, I probably started it really realizing that I have this gift probably at a young age as well, but I didn't really tune into it. I know personally that I've always been told that I have a very old soul type of energy, that I'm more wiser than I'm than other people, and really know how to explain. It's more like a deeper feeling. It's not like you can just like say something and then I don't really know where I was trying to go at with that,
It's
but
like you don't even know that it's
yeah,
what
like,
you have is
yeah.
intuitiveness.
I mean, I'm
Until
still
you
trying to
know.
figure out whether I like actually have this gift, but I mean, I'm still learning and I'm still going down that pathway. And I wanna say that one thing that definitely helped me with this was psychedelics, honestly. When I first did my first psychedelic, which was mushrooms, I took about 4.5 grams of penis envy, which is probably not the smartest idea to do, but I did it either way because I was young and, you know, I mean, I'm still young.
Do you
but
have
I was,
access to that stuff now, or?
I'm
I'm asking for a friend. I'm playing.
I got you.
well, I want to say I probably still have some left at home, but either way, I want to say that was definitely the big step. I did that, and because I was raised an atheist, I'm from Germany, so I wasn't really raised with a lot of religion, and then when I moved here to the United States about 10 years ago, I really started realizing that like what religion was, because I met my father's side of the family and they were all Catholics, and I like started like recognizing religion, understanding what it was and what spirituality was, and I did that psychedelic and I had this experience that I literally cannot explain. It was out of this world. I went into the spirit realm, or like the realm that is outside of this universe, the physical world. You know, this is physical. I went outside of that. I was in my consciousness, I was in my mind. And I sort of, how do I explain it? It literally felt like I was in the deepest, darkest side of my life. Like everything just came out and I like accepted it on that spot, and I was like, I don't want to feel like this anymore. And ever since that, I forgave everyone. I've been so much more of a happier person. I understand where these emotions are coming from, and still, just for advisory reasons, do not do it when you're not ready. I don't think I was ready at the time, but sometimes people, you know, think that it's the right time, and I thought it was the right time at the time. But you know, even at that, I still learned something from it, and ever since that day, it's been completely wild.
It was the right time.
Yeah,
it was the right time that you did it, and you received some
You know,
kind of guidance and message.
Exactly.
So you can't criticize it.
And
so.
Yeah, there is never a wrong.
Yeah, I don't think there's, you know what, when you do things, that's when you're meant to do it. And I think that's just like how God speaks through you, how, you know, the universe speaks through you. I mean, life is literally like a bunch of events that take place within like your body, within a certain amount of like, in your lifetime, you know? And I definitely want to say that was the very first step for me to understanding my gift, and also with me being like an old soul, already having wisdom that other people didn't have, just because I was also from like another country on the other side of the world, so I have two different perspectives of viewing the world and people especially, and I've always been very good at like reading and understanding people emotionally, reading people's body language, and being able to figure out already who they are before I even like talk to them, you know? But I also want to say, like, you know, that isn't like the entirety of understanding a person, you know? It goes a lot deeper than that. But that's definitely one step, and it's having that intuition, figuring out whether someone has good intentions or bad intentions. It goes a lot deeper, and where was I going out with this?
Well, you've opened up a lot of different subjects
Yeah.
for us to like, go into. So
Unpack all of that.
yeah, we have some stuff to unpack.
Basically telling my entire life story over here.
So, yeah, for starters, like everything happens for us.
Yeah.
So it's any experience we go through, whether it is with psychedelics or just our day-to-day lives, the contrast that we might like like feel day to day. This is all happening for us, and it's an opportunity for us to expand. We are spiritual beings living in, you know, a small part of that spiritual being, a very small part, is living in this physical body here. So we are here to experience it. And I think with the psychedelics, you're opened up to more of your spiritual self, your real self, your divine self that is not contained within this physical body. I don't know, Christina, have you had any experience with psychedelics?
I have.
Woohoo!
I'm God. Yes, I have. Yeah, and you know, really, can I be honest with you?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course.
It helps me. I didn't honor some of the experiences in the way that, you know, treating it as sacred.
Yeah.
You know, it was more like a party type
I
thing.
can definitely relate to that.
When now, of course, reflecting and becoming a wiser human, you know, and having access to some of these beautiful natural gifts, you know, treating it with kindness and treating it with reverence is essential to, you know, kind of, especially it does set intention.
Yes.
Like that is kind of setting the tone. So if you do want to party, and if you did want that kind of like, that kind of trip, you know, then, you know, psychedelics can obviously give you that time. But there are some really amazing experiences that people are doing today with psilocybins and things like that, you know, where medically they're, in a clinical setting, they're administered these, you know, maybe it's the authentic mushroom or it's in synthesized form, whatever, but they're having the journey that you kind of described, you know.
Yeah.
So I've had a little bit of both. I've had with my experiences with using, you know, hallucinogenic drugs, but I haven't used them in a long time. Okay, and I needed that reprieve, that break from such
definitely.
great party times. But now I want to, can I be honest? I want to try it again, like in a sense where I am in ceremony and honoring this sacred little
We should definitely, like, you know, like, maybe even have, like, a little gathering of some sort, like, you know, figure something out.
Sleepover.
We'll play a sleepover. Christina's house, sleepover.
But you know, I mean, the truth is, like, these are really medicinal things, and they are provided on this planet for a really, really incredible reason. And there's evidence, there's hardcore scientific medical evidence that some of these plant lives, you know, peyote, mushrooms, and then shoot, it's what you do with the ceremonies too. I can't think of it.
Ayahuasca.
Yeah. You know, that's all sacred stuff.
Yeah.
Treat it with some reverence, and then you get some of the outcome that you intend back to you. So
I was thinking that when you guys started that I hadn't partied with any psychedelics, but I guess way back in the day I did do a little LSD. But but for the most part,
I wasn't trying to name it, but
and that's totally different. It's because of the syntheticness of it. It's not the same. It's not the same connection to spirit. And I think that depends on who was making it and all of that stuff, you know, because intention is everything.
Yeah.
So, but with ayahuasca, which I've sat with many times, and I'm very grateful for all of the lessons that I received, and because I am a completely different person now than the person who sat in that first circle that I ever sat in. And so I'm grateful for all that she has taught me. Madre, you know, Aya has taught me, and I've also sat in ceremony only with the sacred mushrooms, and like it's the education that you get, the mind opening, the veil lifting. And being able to see beyond this, you know, this is very temporary and not what really matters. You know, what really matters is your connection to to all that is, which is your higher self, which is the oneness of everything. And I think when you tap into that oneness, you're also able to tap into it with others, thus your gifts for being able to...
Oh, that's so funny that you're talking about that now. Because when I had that psychedelic trip, actually, me and my friend, we noticed that like we were having like very similar thoughts. And whenever she would say something, I would be like, wait a minute, I just thought that in my head. So I definitely like that you just brought that up, because like, you know, the way mushrooms work, for example, the mycelium, they're connected all like around it, literally to everything. The planet Earth, you know, when you really think about it, and just in facts in general. And I definitely believe that like our brains are hardwired in that very similar way, you know. For example, all the, what are they called in our brains?
The neurons.
The neurons, you know, they're all interwoven, interconnected, so that's why we have all these memories and all these thoughts constantly, because we're able to rapidly like connect to one spot in our brain and then the other in an instant like that. And I think definitely the same thing goes with like plant life and the earth, you know, everything that's living, and we're all connected in some way or form, whether it is spiritual or physical, you know, I definitely think everything is connected. And however, some people, you know, might have a harder time trying to figure that part out in life, but
and
then you find out later in life.
Yeah.
On top of that, you know, you're talking about the mycelia being this large organism, and then we can go into Christina's realm, because mushroom spores are the only thing that can travel through our atmosphere and into outer space, and vice versa.
Can I tell you, I had a little channeling session, and it was seriously, we are mushrooms. We are the above ground mushroom.
Yeah.
That's what we are. And our brain is kind of like a mushroom, and it's networked underground. So we are mushrooms. And we're there's these little spores.
I'm laughing because you say we're the above ground mushroom, and the visual part of the mushroom that you see is actually the sexual organ of the mushroom.
It's true. And I'm gonna honor this message, because it wasn't me that gave me this message. Maybe higher self, but mushroom communed with me and told me that that's what we are. And I was like, you know what? I dig it. I feel you. I am a mushroom, and I'm okay with that. It felt great. Yeah.
But we are all everything. We're as much this coffee cup as we are the mushroom. So it's like everything is one. So whether we're star beings or coming from this interesting background that you've got, you know, like we're all one, and we're all experiencing it. Sometimes we're experiencing things for the benefit of all. Like everything we go through for the benefit of everyone else. Like, so basically live your best life, right? Because by you living your best life, you're giving that gift to everyone that you come in contact with. So just live your best life.
Yeah, that was very deep. I enjoyed that.
Yeah. Went a little far afield from hey, how's this intuitive thing?
Oh yeah. I mean, that's how podcasts honestly work, you know. There's just a bunch of topics, and then you just go with the flow.
I think it's supposed to. Can I tell you? Can I be honest with you? I think it's really by design that we're sharing this knowledge, and that more knowledge is coming about the safe treatment of the plant life that is intended to be medicinal for us, you know, and the usage of it and honoring it. I think that's really essential for our way of life, our well-being, Mother Earth's well-being. So discussing that in this forum is perfect. And also too, I think understanding that people that have otherwise not been able to connect spiritually with themselves on a deeper level. You know, a consciousness that's outside of themselves, that's healing and demonstrative of love and peace and harmony and light-filledness. That's what some of these sacred herbs, plants give us the ability to do. So I think it's really important because it does give people a little bit, it reinforces their ability to become intuits, to trust the intuition that comes about, the messages and the channeled information that comes about by way of all of the energy that passes through us, because it's such light matter and there's such tiny little cellular pieces of energy, they're just bouncing through us in and out. So these are life forms, you know, and that's where we receive a lot of the intel. So don't discard these moments of teachings that come about in a real indirect way, because that's a real blessing. So, and thank you for that. Thanks for letting me indulge too. I think it's really important.
Yeah.
You know, something I'm getting intuitively right now kind of is like, I'm seeing a lot of red, and I definitely use a lot of like emotional color theory with my practice because it's so important, in my eyes at least. And I'm seeing a lot of red, and you know, in my eyes, red symbolizes a lot of love and a lot of passion. So what I'm getting intuitively right now is that what we're doing right now, we have a lot of passion for and a lot of love for, and this is like, you know, something that we can take on for the rest of our lives as well. I mean, definitely, you know, it's stuck in our brains now. It's not like it's just gonna leave. But yeah, the color red. Do you have any symbolism for the color red?
Well, red definitely would indicate passion, money. Red is a good indicator of money, you know.
Okay.
And in some cultures,
in Chinese culture,
Yeah.
especially Asian
Yeah.
cultures,
Yeah.
red's definitely good fortune.
it's fire for sure, and it is it's a pretty igniting type energy or color,
Yeah.
you know. So yeah, that's awesome. I don't do a lot of color theory work.
Yeah, I mean, I'm also an artist and oil painter, so I have a lot of colors in my mind constantly. I'm very creative, and I definitely think that's where my intuition comes in as well. Having that creativity and that, like, you know, the universe is able to sense that I have this passion for creativity to go outside of the box, and yeah, the color red.
I would never know that you were creative.
Oh my goodness.
No, I have to tell a secret.
Okay.
It's not a secret, but if you ever come
Not
to
anymore.
our shop, Sasha has decorated the reader room, like literally brought in backpack upon backpack of things. It is the most gorgeous little room I have ever seen. Yeah. Total artist.
Yeah, I worked really hard on it. I saved a lot of money and then spent that money on that room. But honestly, it was worth it because like I absolutely love working with you guys, you know, and I love the people that I get there as well. It's literally free therapy, except it's not free. But you know, I'm still able to do therapy sessions with people, basically, you know, giving them that sense of clarity, you know, having them get messages from God above and give them that little sense of clarity for any issues that they have, you know, and even at that, whether they feel like they're not able to resonate it in the moment, you know, I'm still here and I'm still showing that love and that appreciation for that person being there in this world, in this lifetime, you know. Something I recently heard was Neil deGrasse Tyson talking about there could have been more people in this universe that don't exist, and we exist. So the statistics can't even measure up on that, you know. We are literally miracles. And the fact that this person is in my room talking to me about their issues, wanting to get help about something, you know, I feel blessed that they come to me because I know I can definitely give some wisdom to some people that people might not have learned yet, or, you know, of inner truth, and then help them guide themselves on that next path in life, you know.
So like going back to the intuitive reader, because I think that really brings us
Yeah.
back to it. Like
Sure.
some people we will,
Mhm.
but some people are afraid to go to an intuitive because we see the side of the road neon signs with the crystal
Yeah.
ball, and there's a lot of fake feeling. And having hosted many psychic fairs in my time, there are some readers,
They're literally
absolutely
fake, yeah.
frauds who will. I had a reader, and I can tell this story because she's no longer with us, and she can hear this right now, because she stopped me in an elevator after a fair and said, "Hey, I want to read at your shop." I said, "Oh, that's awesome." She said, "Yeah, you just tell me if you have like a stone that's not selling, like say you have howlite and it's not selling, you just tell me, I'll tell them they need it."
Wow, that's
That's
interesting.
That's not right.
I said, "You will never read at my shop."
Oh my gosh, that's great.
That is not how it works. And then, but that's why people are afraid to go to readers. I often say, and you're not of this rule, but because you're so unique because you're an artist, but I often will say that your best readers look like school teachers. Like,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
they're just like just regular people
yeah.
that have a gift, but they. So I trust my own intuition when hiring readers. Or allowing readers to work in my store. I don't really hire them. I have them come and independently work at the store. But I trust my intuition when allowing them to be there, because and I don't require them to give me a reading so that I know that they're good or anything like that, because that's not necessary. I can look into the eyes of a person and tell if they are somebody who is going to serve my community, my clientele. And I just know if they've got a gift or not. And that's part of my gift.
That is a gift.
But
That's intuition, baby.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hello.
so, but what are some things that you have, because you guys obviously have
Yeah.
experienced the frauds as well. So what are some things that you would say to look out for if somebody's thinking about getting a reading?
Well, okay, so I have had one lady that did get a little bit emotional, and I feel like during the reading she wasn't really taking it serious. I feel like she might have had a couple like inner demons that she's been like, trying to fight herself, and that can definitely be a little hard, and I feel like a lot of the times I think it might also, definitely have to do with like religious aspects as well, A lot of people look at tarot readers as like devil worshippers, but I don't I don't affiliate myself with any of that. I speak directly from God, and I always make sure that the energy is clear beforehand, because a lot of the times the people that do come in will have that negative aspect in their life, and literally all I do is I let them know this is a very comfortable space. You are very free to feel however you want to feel in this room, and I will make sure that by the end of this you will gain some clarity and you will feel more better about yourself. Because I don't like seeing sad people. I've seen too many sad people in my life. I've been sad too long in my life.
But
and
also sometimes I have to say, sometimes their suffering is for them.
Yeah, exactly.
So you have to let them go through it.
That's exactly what I was talking about. Like, sometimes people have this negativity within their soul, their aura, and sometimes all I do is I clarify, and then I let them know, like, you got to go through this by yourself. This is something that you need to work on. I'm only like that little bit of help. I'm only like the nurse to help you guide
You do
you.
the triage.
Yeah.
And the one thing I will say, so on the subject of of readers of finding the right reader, no reader worth their salt will give you information that they say is like definite, like, oh, you're the big example. If you don't change your ways, you're going to die.
Yeah, like I don't believe in that. That doesn't make sense at all.
No reader worth their salt will say that, because there's always free will.
Exactly.
Free will exists. So because there's free will, you can always change your path.
Yeah.
So there's that. But what would you say to help somebody if they're thinking about getting a reading and they walk up to like someone out in a store, and what would you say what advice would you give them to think about when they're thinking of getting a reading? Do I go with this person or not?
Yeah. You know what? Maybe there's an opportunity to ask how the reader does their reading.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
you know,
like what their
explain
method
beforehand.
is, what cards they use, if they've got like some decent intentions behind and motives behind offering the service, that's what you want to know up front. And a lot of times you can get a better understanding or clear understanding of people's motives by asking what and how they use the tools that they've been provided. So that's just something that you can do. Just ask what is your formula, or what is your process, you know, and is it divinely guided, or how do you receive your messages? Is it of a consciousness that you want to get engaged with, you know? So you can kind of just, they need to show you the resume a little bit while you're going to be their client, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I will say that anyone who tells you that you need to pay them so that they can help you with some illness or something, oh, bring me money and I will tell you how to fix this. No, don't run away. Just run away. That is not a true intuitive. That is somebody just trying to get in your pocket.
Yeah.
I did have, can I be for real here? And it was kind of like, I was almost taken aback by what happened, but it was real, you know? But I got a reading, and it was like psychic on the, you know, the road.
Yeah.
What's on the
Signage,
outside,
you know, and,
Oh,
but I
I
love
went to
those things
one.
sometimes. I'm not
Yeah.
shy. I like getting random readings by some neon sign. But listen, and this was like a person that looked like they'd been established and in the neighborhood for a little minute, and I felt like this was going to be okay.
Yeah.
It was also a person of indigenous nature.
Mhm.
So I was like, sign me up. I want somebody that is like of the, you know, of the original races to, you know, tell a sister what's up. Well, this person told me at the end of the reading that I actually didn't look well, and then told me that she could take me to their reservation for $2,000 and cleanse me of the
not well.
the not wellness. And I was like, I am hearing this, but it is going through my head and out the other side.
Yeah.
So but it was really interesting because I thought, well, here I am. I'm a freaking intuitive person, and they're talking this smack to me.
Yeah.
So, you know, you know what? Blessings. Be well. Blessings and peace.
Blessings
be
on
with
your
you.
way.
Because this girl couldn't do that. Can't fly
Well,
that, you know. So.
And that is their, you know, give love, you know, like that even when somebody is obviously like maybe scamming you a little bit or trying to sell their little thing, you don't have to, just send love their way and move on. Yeah.
I always got a blessing to give, girl. I'm never gonna be shy of giving a blessing.
Yeah.
While we're still on this topic, I want to say that I've gone to like a roadside like psychic before, and literally I spent $10 for 2 minutes.
Oh yeah.
It was not worth it.
Yeah.
It was not worth it. I thought I was gonna get like a 15-20 minute reading, so I could like understand like, you know, something.
Yeah, 2 minutes.
Literally 2 minutes.
You're like, my name is goodbye.
Literally, I'm telling you, that's literally what it was. And then she asked me which deal I wanted to do, and there were like multiple options, and I was like, well, how long are you? I asked her like straight up like how long are you doing these readings for? And she was like 10 to 20 minutes, and then there were like 40, 50, 60, 70, $80 options. I was like,
oh wow.
that I feel like that's not how like it actually works.
Yeah.
You're giving a menu for your intuition, and I feel like that's not how intuition works.
Yeah, because really, truthfully, I mean,
Yeah.
I thought maybe I would take minutes with somebody, but next thing you know, hours later,
Yeah.
you're like,
Yeah,
you know,
I mean, I do $20 for 30 minutes, and I had to change it to 30 minutes. So it was 20 minutes, and I did that because I already knew, like, I just went over 20 minutes by, like, 15 minutes, so it ended up being, like, a 35-minute, 40-minute reading. I was like, okay, I just gotta bring it back.
Sometimes when you're really connecting with someone
Yeah.
energetically, the time just isn't.
Yeah,
Time no
and
longer
just all this
exists.
information that I'm
Really.
getting just, like, pours out, and I can't, like,
Yeah.
really stop, otherwise it's gonna end at a weird spot. You know, I have to complete giving that information so it can go.
So,
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
so we have
Yes,
two
I'll
and
love.
two. Do you guys have your cards with you?
I don't actually have my
I'm gonna
cards
go
with me
grab
at the
some
store.
because
Okay.
I forgot to bring them down.
Okay.
What
Grab
are
some
you wanting to
cards.
read today?
I'm totally down to do a reading. I can do like 2 cards or something like that.
Yeah.
We'll get something small
Okay.
and something really, really helpful for our community.
Yeah. Go,
Okay,
go
let me go grab
real
it.
quick. Sasha
Woo!
hold it down.
Okay.
Hold it, y'all chat. Y'all chat about me.
Alright, so I actually have some things that we might be able to talk about here. So I have
Okay.
like a little notepad that I wrote down.
I was
No?
while we were on the subject
Oh, okay.
of different kinds of readings, and Christina's grabbing her
Okay.
cards. Yeah, I saw that you have crystals there, and
Yeah.
he's got his computer covered with crystals. So
Yeah.
it was my heart.
And my cross.
So another type of reading,
Mhm.
which people often think that I'm psychic, but it's literally just the crystals that they pick.
Yeah.
Like they'll pick up a rose quartz, for
Mhm.
example, and I'll be like, oh, so rose quartz is usually for women who are taking care of everyone else and
Mhm.
forget to take care of themselves, so they're attracted
Mhm.
to rose quartz. They're like, are you psychic? And I'm like, no, I'm just. That's what rose quartz is. That's the rose.
Yeah.
The rose quartz is psychic,
Yeah.
basically. So, although that is crystal reading, so that's a
Yeah.
crystal. I have a friend up in Pensacola, Miss Tony Talley, who does crystal readings, and she'll have a bowl of crystals, and you pick crystals out of the bowl, and she'll do a reading based on the crystals that you pick, which is really
That's
cool.
cool.
Yeah.
I've had somebody do something very similar
Yeah.
to me before. Okay, you know what? Can I tell you what I thought
Yeah,
might be
of
fun?
course.
Okay.
With Vero being stuck between us, you do one and I do one.
Oh right, I'm totally down for
Now
that.
you decide which one you want. We have
Um,
2 beautiful decks.
Ooh.
They're all pretty
The
beautiful.
transcendent journeys.
I have my
photos.
favorites.
Yeah. So Christina typically reads oracle cards,
Mhm.
and you might give them the difference between oracle and tarot.
Yeah, well, tarot is
Okay.
based on the tradition of playing cards, really, and the archetypes established around tarot and the numbers and the archetypes.
Well, with tarot, you have a specific deck.
Yeah.
It's just like with playing cards.
Yeah.
There's a specific deck. There, what is it? 80 cards? 78?
78 cards.
78 cards. And so you have this specific deck, and it's read the same way, even though the art may be different on the different decks. But oracle cards can be any number of cards, depending on the artist and the author,
Mhm.
and they're just completely derived from the mind of the author and artist, and they are pure intuitive tools, you know, and every one of them can be absolutely 100% different.
Mhm.
So, who wants to go first? Who's gonna go first?
I don't mind going first. I do.
Yeah, you
Alright.
first.
So, the deck that we have here today, it is an oracle deck, and it is called the Transcendent Journeys.
Ooh.
This is what it looks like.
Yeah.
So I don't really know what the aspects about this specific oracle deck is about,
Find
but
out.
I'll find out when I pull the
Alright,
cards.
this is by Cheryl Yamrock Rose.
It's pretty cool.
It's available from Blue Angel Publications.
Okay, so I'm getting messages right now to just pull the very first card and then the very bottom card. So we got Hold Your Wisdom Close, number 1, and then nurture the magical child, number 8. So,
There you go. Hold your wisdom.
so for the very first card, which is hold your wisdom close, this is what it looks like. It's this lady that basically wears like this very ultramarine type of like cloak on her, and the moon is sort of like crescent right now. So I see that, you know, a lot of hidden energies are sort of coming your way, but they're not fully out yet. So that usually resembles like when you have the full moon out, it shows that the mysterious side and the things that are hidden within your body are fully out. However, right now, I do see that with holding your wisdom close to you, I do think that the universe is definitely saying to like keep anything, especially your wisdom, close to you right now, because it's definitely has to do with yourself. You know, holding that wisdom for yourself and not for other people at the moment. This is definitely more of a self-healing card. Under holding your wisdom close, it also says guardian of the sacred vessel. So with the vessel being a symbol of your emotions, I do see that your emotions are very sacred to you right now. They are very important to you right now. So with anything that has to do with your emotions, I would definitely, like, you know, try your best to find ways of keeping it close to you, keeping yourself personal, so you can figure out what your next steps are with self-healing. This is definitely a very big self-healing card. With the color blue being here as well, I do see that there could be like, you know, some sadness, maybe some like gloomy feelings. And with that being said, you know, that's definitely, not definitely, but that could be one reason of why Spirit is trying to tell me right now that anyone that's watching this to really keep in mind about your emotions, keeping them safe, and you know, don't be too exaggerated with them right now. Be soft and gentle with yourself. And then you got, and also it's the number 1. So the number 1 symbolizes yourself. So this is definitely a self card. With the number 8 being here, it's the nurture the oh wait, I'll also read the book for you guys because the book's here.
This is the artist and the author's
interpretation of
Yeah.
this card. So it says, hold your wisdom close, guardian of the sacred vessel, hold back, don't reveal too much too soon. Creations, be cautious. The Grail symbolizes different things to different people. It is a vessel of creation, potential, and initiation into wisdom. Holding it is a big responsibility as it must be kept hidden from the gaze of the profane. With this card, the Grail is telling you to guard your essence, as these are dangerous times. If someone is being invasive or asking too many questions, step back. You don't have to give everything away right now. Be sure you are feeling comfortable with what you reveal. Throughout the ages, cups, cauldrons, and vessels have represented rebirth, manifestation, abundance, the womb of the divine feminine, and the power of the goddess. You alone hold sovereignty over your sacred vessel and can choose when and where to unveil it, or not to do so at all. So, just from me reading this out loud, I definitely, I got that intuition from just simply looking at the card. There is also, she sort of has this bee pendant, so I definitely see that this has to do a lot with, inner femininity, maybe balancing out your inner feminine self, because, everyone has masculine and feminine energies, and right now, I do think that working on your feminine energy is definitely very important right now. Then you got Nurture the Magical Child, which is also the shaman's child. So from looking at this, I do see that Spirit is telling me that, again, this is a very self-healing card, whether you're doing it for something that you care for. When I say care for, it could be your child, it could be your inner child. I need to look at the card again. So in the card, there's also this white, what is it, white
Stag.
deer,
Yeah.
stag.
It's right out of Harry Potter.
Yeah, I was. That's actually where my mind went straight to. So, with that being said, you know, white is a symbol of purity, and deers are very nurturing creatures. They're very family oriented. They like to stay with their family and take care of their children, and mama and papa is usually there, you know, to take care of the children. And right now with this card being here, there's this mother holding this baby in her arms, keeping it warm with her, I want to say it's like something made out of leather. And so it's definitely going to keep her warm, keep the child, you know, nurtured. And then with the white stag being in the background, you know, I see that this is like that inner purity, you know, that inner child purity. The information that I'm getting right now is that the universe is always going to be there to help you with anything, you know. All you gotta do is ask and pray and manifest, you know. A lot of times we tend to not nurture ourselves, and I think it's definitely very important to take care of yourself, because, you know, the saying, how are you going to love someone else when you don't love yourself? What I'm getting so far with this entire reading is that this is a very self-healing reading, and I think right now in this stage of all of our lives, because 2023 had some ups and downs, you know. I think just our generation right now has a lot of ups and downs. So the things that we really need to focus on is a self-healing, understanding who we are, you know. When people ask us, who are you? People tend to say their names first. That's not who you are. Who you are is your soul, it's your aura, it's within yourself. It's not physical things, it's not you saying something, it's who you are on the inside.
I'm a mushroom.
Yeah, so that's what I'm getting from
Awesome.
this reading.
Awesome.
Do you want me to read this as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So listen to the child within you. Reconnect with fragmented memories from your youth at a time when you were playful and experienced awe. As you do so, your imagination will flow, giving birth to new ideas that will enhance your work. Here the shaman holds her newborn baby, an ancient goddess figure found in the Klamath Basin, sits beside the shaman, stirring her ancestral memories. Mother and child are looked over by a magical white stag. His presence reminds her to instill the child with the knowledge that spirit dwells in all things. In turn, we are reminded that acknowledging the divine child let me read that again. In turn, we are reminded that acknowledging the divine child within allows us to share magic, sensitivity, and joy. That was an absolutely beautiful reading. Browns, a lot of browns, and then, you know, giving that earthiness, and then a lot of blues with your emotions. So, you know, stabilizing your emotions is very important right now.
And what I love about that, you said the most important relationship is the relationship with self, and that is everything, because your connection to self is the number one relationship to have in your life.
You can't get
replace it
closer
with
to the
anything.
universe until you allow yourself to be who you are on the inside, and don't care, you know, you don't gotta worry about what you look like on the outside. It's all about on the inside. Interpret yourself within the inside, because that's who you are truly.
That's the stuff that matters.
Yeah. Now you've got the angels and ancestors oracle
Yeah.
cards. I love these.
That was an
By Kyle
absolutely
Gray.
beautiful reading.
Kyle
I love
Gray.
these.
Guardians of the four corners, mother in the earth, father in the sky, angel, ancestors, sacred ones, I call on you and welcome you here now. That's what it says on the inside of the box.
And there's
That's so
another
cool.
little bit on this one too. Do you want to read it?
Oh,
Vero?
sure. I set the intention that whatever is gained from the lessons learned from this tool will be dedicated to the growth of all beings in all places.
That's
Yes.
what.
Go
that's
Kyle
what I'm
Gray.
hoping.
Go Kyle Gray.
I really like this deck. I might have to get it for
And then
myself.
it's a fun one. Okay. I just really want everybody to know something right now before I pull a card. And that is that you are treasured and adored by the universe and by Earth Mother.
I'm getting spirit through me.
She is holding you so tightly against her naked breast, feeding you with all that you need. I want you to know this now, okay? I want you to feel love, all just surrounding you with gold, white light, okay?
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for your beautiful reading, Sasha.
Of course, I absolutely love this deck, and I'm probably gonna get it for myself, honestly.
I'm so glad. Okay. I was told to say something to you in particular because I did get a little message, and it was expressly for you. So do you mind?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. I was told that reading was special just for you.
Oh, that one?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
That's so funny because while I was reading it, I was like getting a lot of resignation with it, and I was like, you know what, this is something I believe I need to focus on.
Yeah.
That was so wild. I love that. I'm
Yeah.
absolutely blessed for that. Thank you.
You're welcome. I
love
also have to
that.
say I've got a lot of joyful spirit
Yes.
around me right now,
Yeah.
and if I start giggling, it's because I feel a lot of childlike energy around me all of a sudden bursting through, and it's this person right here. You can stop it with your little childlike self. Okay, Mama, guide me. Okay, Mama. Woo! We got a hunter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Desires. Holy
Whoa.
schmoly, take a look at that, Earthman. Well, you know what? Automatically, can I tell you that this is a divine creature? When you have antlers on your head like that, you're in touch with divine. It's kind of what the antlers symbolize a lot of the times.
Oh, that is a very beautiful.
The spirit of wind, the spirit of touching the heavens, okay? And also, too, I haven't really seen this card too much. If you are in a place where you are not fully realizing the dreams, visions, goals, aspirations, desires that will best create the life that you want for yourself, sit with self for as long as it takes and ask self, your higher self, your guides, your angels, divine spirit, Earth Mother, the four directions, whatever it is you resonate with, ask, what is for my highest benefit right now? What is it that my heart truly desires right now? And then take that meaningful pause and listen, because I can tell you your heart will gladly tell you what she wants, okay? And pay attention and then honor it. Don't just dismiss, because can I tell you, I think that's the biggest oversight by us beautiful humans, is that we often maybe dismiss the credible information that's coming from our heart guide and our heart knowingness, and not paying attention to those messages and those desires and visions. And we're identified with a little bit more of the physical stuff, the more brain thinking ways. So try to get in touch with that side of your heart that is trying to teach you the most good. Also, too, with this beautiful card, this person's got a bow. So this person is hunting. This person is going to get what it desires. Identify what it is, and then trust that you can do it. Trust that you're given the abilities and that you're provided for to have the things that your heart desires, you know. Okay, and this is really a hardcore masculine look to this card too. Did you want to hold that up a little bit better than I'm doing? Because I keep flopping it around. That was the hunter. Yeah, so a very masculine card.
I also got some like sort of like hermit energy from them, because like the way I think about a hunter is sort of like you know, they go out by themselves and like go reach out for the things that they want to desire. And
I
what
totally see
you
that.
said at like the beginning, you know, with that, what was it? My brain lost its thought.
Well, definitely probably not like hunting in a pack.
Yeah.
So I can
Yeah.
understand why. And then, you know, he's got this like little shadowy looking like cave or like a little tomb like entrance looking like thing. So, but very tribal too. Look at the markings on this beautiful person. Okay. So I'm going to read a little bit here of what the author would best like to share with you regarding this oracle, and that is track down all of your fearful thoughts and feelings. When you find them, you will find your desires too. Okay? So sometimes this is what happens in that process of trying to find out what your desires are. You get to find out what you don't want. And a lot of the times that sifting through that gives you the opportunity to be strong enough to face some of the things and give you the courage like this super duper masculine muscle bound hunter has. You know, just give you the courage and fortification to defend yourself and go after what you want with nothing in your way, no impediments, because you are equipped with every tool and provision you will ever need to get through this life. And similar to what Sasha described to you is, please, ask. Sometimes you don't have to ask a physical person, especially if you're someone that struggles with that. I might have that little hang up my own self. So I'm not always ready to receive because I'm not always ready to ask, but at least throw it out to the universe, you know, because she's never going to judge you. Okay. The Hunter card is based on my favorite, Kyle's, the author of this deck, Celtic god, and that's Coronis.
Kronos.
He is the stag god, so a second little staggy. I didn't even think about that. Of the wild, and represents both the hunted and the hunter. So I'm going to just share with you right now, I don't believe I'm hunted. I'm not identifying with that. So, I'm just saying. Hunter helps you connect with an energy that is both fearful and fearless. Your fears are the only things that are standing between you and what you desire at this time. So you have to come face to face with them. Can I tell you something that was just relayed to me, and I feel like I have to share it with you because I'm trying not to really identify too much with fear. So, and I get maybe where this author and this guide is going with it, but I am willing to replace some of this language for my emotional self and my highest spiritual self. I don't think fears are real. I think fears are made up. They're not real. We make them up. They pretend. So maybe fears isn't necessarily the right word, but whatever it is that that might cause you to stop yourself from believing in what your desires really are and how you can best achieve them. So you have to come face to face with them. Okay, now a hunter does with wild animals and goes beyond. The extended message here is, instead of being hunted down by your fears or other feelings that you have buried, become the hunter. You are being given confidence and strength at this time, so use your power to make a difference. You are not here to cower away or live in the shadows. You are here to realize your fullest potential. Actualize yourselves, people, okay? Potentialize yourself, just do it. You've got it. You've got this. You totally got it. You're divine beings. You're gods. Do it.
All right.
Do it. All right. And then if you are a man or identified as male, this card represents your masculinity and an opportunity to know yourself more deeply. If you are a female or identify as female, this card represents your capacity to be strong and powerful and overcome limitations. And thank you for that. Thank you,
Yeah.
thank you.
No, thank you. I do want to say that the art on the beautiful hunter is by Lily Moses. So Kyle Gray is the author and the art is by Lily Moses. Because often when you have a deck, there is an author and an artist that are working together. I hope to do one myself someday.
You would do an amazing deck, for sure. Oh, I can't wait to get it. I can't wait to see it on the shelves
All
at
right,
your
we're
shop.
putting it into consciousness.
I know, I love it, I love it.
All right, so I mean we've been going for a while, so I think we're at a good point to wrap it up. I want to thank everybody for tuning in with us and for whether it's on the replay or the live, and I appreciate all of you. I hope that everyone out there listening got something from one of the readings, and I hope questions in the comments, and we will either get to them like next week, or we will try to answer them in the comments as they come up. So no, this one doesn't have Facebook, so
I don't do technology like that.
so if we don't answer right away, it's because we're waiting to get a response from this one.
Yeah.
All right.
But look, y'all, you guys are all kicking butt.
I appreciate so much that she has pulled herself away from the technology, because sometimes you have to.
Yeah, technology is definitely the one thing that I feel like brings us down that hill. You know, we wanna go up
It
that
does
hill.
both. I listened to an AI conversation last night between AI Alan Watts and AI Terrence McKenna, and that was pretty crazy. So,
Yeah.
so technology
interesting.
can be really interesting as well. So
How do you use it in a relationship
know.
with it, you know?
Yeah.
AI is definitely
Yeah.
scaring me.
Yeah, well, that's a whole nother talk for a whole nother topic, so whole nother day. So blessings, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Have a great one.
Have a blessed day.
Be well, peace be with all.